Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a massive, tangled web of accountability today. We are looking at the recent allegations surrounding the Raam Temple donation case in Ayodhya. And wow, it is a complex one. You've got a major bank, a private security firm, and the Temple Trust itself, all caught up in this massive jurisdictional puzzle. Let's just cut through the noise and figure out exactly what went wrong here. Now, to really grasp the sheer scale of this, we're talking about a recovery of nearly 80 lakh rupees in cash, right? That is a staggering amount of money. This isn't just some tiny, accidental bookkeeping error. We're talking about highly significant missing public offerings. So naturally, this has triggered a massive law enforcement response to figure out exactly where the vulnerabilities were. And honestly, those high stakes, they've already led to some very real, tangible results. The investigation has moved super fast, resulting in 8 total arrests so far. But here's the detail that really throws a wrench in the narrative. Out of those 8 suspects, 6 of them are actually recruits from a private security agency. These were the exact individuals physically stationed at the cash handling unit. So it really cements the reality of this alleged embezzlement and points all our attention straight toward the outsourced personnel. Section 1. The missing donations. So, leading the charge to uncover the truth here is the SIT, or the Special Investigation Team. The Uttar Pradesh government actually put this specific body together to take over this high-profile probe. This whole alleged embezzlement first came to light after the SIT submitted its preliminary findings. They're the ones acting as the objective investigators right now, trying to sort through the big questions: who hired who, and ultimately, who actually had access to those funds. Section 2. The security firm speaks. Now, you really have to listen to the directness of this statement from Gaurav Singh, the director of Sainik Security Services. He firmly states, "Our company has nothing to do with the alleged donation theft at the Raam Temple. We recruited 22 people and sent them to the SBI branch in Ayodhya for housekeeping work." We're presenting this completely impartially because, well, it forms the absolute core of their defense. They are drawing a very hard line here. In their eyes, they provided housekeeping staff to the State Bank of India, absolutely not cash handlers to the temple. And honestly, this just brilliantly illustrates Singh's main argument about the chain of command. It's like a classic corporate game of hot potato. Look at how it played out. First, the chief manager of the SBI branch actually sent the security firm the biodata of these 22 people. Second, Sainik Security officially hired them, but, and this is crucial, specifically for housekeeping. And third, according to the firm at least, whatever duties those employees eventually performed with the actual cash were assigned entirely by the bank. They're pushing that responsibility right back onto SBI. Just to further solidify their defense, Sainik Security clarified their strict operational boundaries. They stated on the record that their company doesn't even undertake contracts for temples, none at all. Their sole contractual obligation was just fulfilling a manpower request for the State Bank of India's Ayodhya branch. So from their perspective, the second those individuals walked through the bank's doors, Sainik Security's oversight completely ended. Section 3. The bank's counterclaim. Now, it's important to remember this didn't just happen overnight. If we step back about 3 months ago, SBI sources claimed the bank already suspected irregularities in how these donations were being handled. They actively wanted to replace the outsourced cash counting staff right then and there. But in the following weeks, their hands were allegedly tied. This mounting suspicion just kept building until it ultimately culminated in the official FIR being registered on June 25th. Okay, so here's the really explosive claim that fills in the gap on that timeline. SBI sources allege that members of the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra Trust themselves did not allow the outsourced staff to be changed. We're presenting this totally neutrally, but you can see how it introduces a massive third party right into the middle of this blame game. The bank is essentially claiming they tried to fix the vulnerability, but were actively blocked by the very trust that actually manages the temple. Section 4. The ongoing probe. At the end of the day, no matter who was technically in charge of assigning duties, the physical evidence of this crime is completely undeniable. Let's just summarize the concrete findings for a second. The FIR was officially locked in on June 25th. We've got 8 total accused currently under arrest. And most importantly, investigators have physically recovered nearly 80 lakh rupees in stolen cash, along with an undisclosed amount of foreign currency. So while the oversight is hotly disputed, the crime itself is very, very real. And despite all the intense media finger-pointing going back and forth, the official legal process is still moving forward. Sainik Security Services has publicly affirmed that they are fully cooperating with the ongoing probe.
They've stated they've shared all the sought information and documentation with the SIT investigators to really help trace that exact chain of command.
Which really just leaves us with this final lingering question. With such heavily overlapping claims between the private security firm, the State Bank of India, and the Temple Trust, who is ultimately accountable when the chain of command breaks down this severely? It is an absolutely fascinating mystery of corporate and institutional responsibility. Definitely keep an eye on the news as the special investigation team continues to unravel the truth. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, stay curious, and we'll catch you next time.